Hi, I'm Joe Chili, mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Whack. Joining us on the Big Whack's Buffalo on the Rise today is Jonathan McDonnell from BAM Acupuncture. Now that's Buffalo Advanced Medical Acupuncture, because I very seldom say the full name. And I very seldom say the fact that you are a New York State licensed acupuncturist.
Right, and I have a master's degree in acupuncture and Oriental medicine.
Really? Mm-hmm. A master's degree in acupuncture and Oriental medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, you know, whenever I say that at parties, I'm always like the center of attention. Right?
Really?
Oh yeah, it's it's a kind of a unique thing, right? Like it's not something like, hey, what do you do for a living? Okay, stick needles in people.
People don't give you a hard time about that.
Oh, people want to know all about it.
Yeah, let's talk about how you're really revolutionizing, probably is the best way to put it, chronic pain, right? Is that the way that you kind of put it? You're really taking chronic pain and, you're helping it without medicine, without,
Absolutely.
putting artificial things.
Yeah, so acupuncture has been around for thousands of years, right? But what makes Buffalo Advanced Medical Acupuncture unique is, absolutely, we specialize in the tough cases. The people that have kind of hit a wall with their health. If you've ever been told, you just have to learn to live with this, or, just take this pill to help with this pill. Those are the people that tend to gravitate to our clinic, and those are the people who can help. And so what makes us unique and the way we're able to do that is we take this time-tested treatment in acupuncture and all the ancient wisdom and perspective that's involved with that. And then we're going to seamlessly blend in more modern advancements in integrative medicine. So we really are kind of cutting edge on what we can do for a lot of people that either don't respond to traditional treatments like medications and surgeries, or just don't like how they feel or haven't gotten the results they're looking for.
I've heard people comment that they constantly feel tired, mm-hmm. Right? So whether that's chronic fatigue, or sometimes, after an illness or something, they said, I just have this brain fog that kind of hangs around. Have you heard those comments? Do you help people with things like that?
More and more so. I think there's a lot of layers to that, right, too? I think now, today, the more modern, kind of manifestation of that is these long COVID. People that have had long COVID. That's a very common complaint with that, is I just feel tired all the time. I can't think. I go to, I take a measurement and I go here and it's gone. It's just not in my brain. But that's something we've been treating for years at BAM. Another condition that I think of with that is fibromyalgia. A lot of the patients that come in with fibromyalgia will complain of brain fog. That's a very common complaint with that, along with like the achiness and depression. That's a very tough disease, fibromyalgia. It's been around for a couple decades now, but I think it's something that's still very poorly understood. And it can feel very isolating to those people. They don't know where to turn. They don't know if there's help for them. And the medications like the Lyricas and the gabapentins and the things, it's kind of a shot in the dark for a lot of these people, and it makes them feel worse. Brain fog, fibromyalgia, long COVID, those are definitely things that we see a lot of.
And do you see people that have lost hope?
Oh, that's why we exist. I don't want people to lose hope. So if you're somebody that's lost hope, absolutely, give us a call. That's what we specialize in. If you, you're worried about, I'm retired and I can't enjoy my grandchildren. I'm worried about, I can't feel my feet because imbalance. So that's, you're isolating yourself. You're not getting out as much. I get a lot of patients who are worried about the ability to drive. I think that's something that we really take for granted. That's freedom in this country. Like, you can't get around without a car. I get patients with neuropathy that can't feel their feet, and that's where they are. If you're somebody that's lost hope, that's why I'm here today. I'm here to scream it at the rooftops. There is hope for you. Come on in, set up a consultation, sit down with us, and let's get you back to living life.
Two things that we've talked about before, and I bring it up again. Some people just say the fact that, I'm getting old, it's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. It's the aging process, right? And then the other thing is that they've been to a certain number of specialists or doctors or whatever, and they don't get the results they need, or they get medication that just masks it and doesn't cure it. So in that case, you might be a last resort, right?
Yeah, and I think that's really unfortunate, Joe. I think we have taken that as just a matter of fact in our society. You know, it's just part of getting older. I can tell you from being in practice for 20 years, even before I was in acupuncture, you know, I did a lot in rehab centers as a physical therapist and nursing homes. There are people out there who don't have that attitude. You know, I could show you 90-year-olds that act like they're 30. You know, and then there's the other end of that spectrum. I can show you people that are 60 that, you know, they feel and act like they're 90. So yeah, if you're somebody you don't feel your age, that's what we specialize in. We have a little time machine in the back of the clinic and we turn the clock back for you.
Well, you know, I can understand that because speaking for myself, I don't want to get old.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't feel old. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to just sit around.
I mean, I have to stop you there. I mean, I want to get old, but I want to stay youthful.
Okay, well, yeah. And when if you're thinking of it as a number, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, if you don't, you know, there's no necessarily limits to what you can do until you find out you just can't do it, right?
No.
I mean, you know.
No.
So that's a great thing. What's the first step for an individual?
Yeah, so it's real simple. You know, if you are someone like we've been talking about, someone that's lost hope, you've been told you just have to learn to live with it, you feel older than you should, you know, give us a call, set up a consultation. 632-2207, that's 716-632-2207. You'll talk to one of our patient care coordinators, set up a consultation with me, and then that's the first step. We'll sit down. I want to do a little investigative work, see if you're somebody that's a good candidate for what we do, and if you are, I'll spell out a clear treatment path and get you rolling and get you back to living life.
It sounds great.
Yeah,
Jonathan McDonnell, BAM Acupuncture. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Buffalo Advanced Medical Acupuncture by calling 716-632-2207 or go to bamacupuncture.com. Sponsorship and promotional considerations for the preceding segment was provided by Buffalo Advanced Medical Acupuncture. And join me weekday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. on The Big Wake.